Last week, I told you that the only way to fail in sales is to stop. I also told you that your reps are leaving $26,000 to $33,000 on the table by just waiting for leads instead of going out and creating their own. And I promised you that this week, we'd get into how to do that. So today we're talking about cold calling, who to call, what to say in the first 10 seconds, how to handle the conversation without it sounding like a pitch, and how to turn a complete stranger into a booked appointment, or at the very least, a warm lead that you can follow up with. And if you're a sales rep watching this and you think cold calling doesn't work, I want you to stay with me because what I'm about to show you isn't the cold calling you're thinking of. It's something completely different. And stay to the end because what I'm gonna say at the end of this video is gonna change your life. My name is Mike Ballentine. I'm the founder of Alpha Sales Consulting. I have over $50 million in sales volume across my entire sales career. I help window and door companies specifically. I come in, I train their sales teams on how to go out, get their own leads, create their own opportunities, as opposed to relying solely on inbound leads. So before we talk about what to say, we first need to talk about who you're saying it to. Because most sales reps skip this step entirely. They either buy a random list, they dial without any strategy, and then they wonder why these homeowners and these prospects don't care. Or they don't prospect at all because they don't know where to start. Here's the simplest, most effective answer for a window and door sales rep. Call the neighborhood of the job that you just sold. Every time you install windows or doors at a client's home, you now have a reason to call every house within at least a 50 house radius. And I mean that literally. 50 houses minimum. And here's why that works so well. You now have context. You're not just a random salesperson that is calling them. You actually did work in that neighborhood. That's a fact. And facts open doors. You now have social proof. Every single neighborhood has people trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're always paying attention to what their neighbors are doing. If the house on the corner just got new windows, now every homeowner on that street is at least gonna be thinking about, do they need new windows? Are seals busted on their windows? Do the locks work properly? People pay attention to what their neighbors are doing. And you have a reason to be there that doesn't seem like a sales pitch. You're not really cold calling. You're a local company just checking in on the community, seeing if they need any assistance. So that's the foundation. Now let's talk about what happens when somebody picks up. Here's something that I want you to understand about the homeowner on the other side of the phone. I don't think I need to tell you this, but these people aren't sitting by their phones waiting for your phone call. The only reason they probably picked up was because they didn't recognize your number and they thought maybe you were somebody else or a call that they were expecting. And during the first 3 seconds of this phone call, these homeowners are doing one thing. They're trying to figure out if this is worth their time or if they should hang up. Here's the problem with how most reps open the phone call. Hey, Mr. Buyer, this is Mike with XYZ Company. How are you today? The moment those words come out of your mouth, the homeowner has already put you in a box. They've already categorized you. They've heard this opener a million times. They know exactly what's coming next. The pattern is recognized and the wall goes up. That's why you don't like cold calling. Say something they weren't expecting, something that makes them think, wait, this isn't a normal sales call. Here's an example of what that actually sounds like for a window and door rep. I'll put it on the screen so you can take notes on this. I'll also put this script in the comments. Hey, Tom, let them confirm. Now you know you're speaking to the right person and that they're engaged. Tom, I just wrapped up a job down the street from you. They needed new windows because their seals were broken. And it got me thinking, your house is north facing. Have you ever experienced any rooms on the left or right side of your home that get hotter during warmer months? That cold call opener right there is gonna change your life. Watch the conversations that you start just by opening a cold call that way. And I'm gonna break down why this works exactly. First, you use their name twice within the first 5 seconds. That immediately builds a little bit of rapport. Second, you reference the neighborhood. You are not a stranger anymore. You have context. Third, you gave them a specific, relevant detail. Their house is north facing. That's not something a generic sales script says. It sounds like you actually know something about their situation. And fourth, you ask them a question that actually makes them think. Not about windows, about the comfort in their own home. That's a problem that these people can feel. And once the problem is felt, they'll be open to the solution. Now, here's where most sales reps make the biggest mistake in cold calling. They get somebody on the phone. This person shows just a little bit of interest, and then they immediately shift into pitch mode. They start talking about product features, energy efficiency ratings, financing options, lifetime warranties, and the homeowner who is just starting to warm up feels like now they're being sold to, and the wall goes right back up. I need you to hear this clearly. Your goal on a cold call is not to make a sale. It's to make the second call warmer. That's it. You're not selling a window. You're selling a next step. You're building enough trust and curiosity in one phone call that the call you have with them next week starts off warm and not cold. So when the homeowner responds to your question, whether that's a yes, they have seen issues, or no, here's how the conversation goes from there. If they say yes, they have noticed issues, don't pitch. Just ask more questions. What rooms? How long has this been going on? Have they had anybody come out and look at it? Then you say, I'd love to come by and take a look. I'll tell you exactly what's going on, and I'll show you your options. I'll actually be in the area next Tuesday at 10 a.m. or Thursday. I'll also be out there at 5 p.m. Do mornings or afternoons work best for you? Notice what just happened. You gave them two options, both of which result in a booked appointment. This is called a false time constraint. And it works because it makes the ask seem easy and low pressure. Now, if they say no, they haven't noticed any issues, this is where a lot of reps give up. Don't. You say, that's actually great to hear, Tom. Here's what I'd love to do. I want to come by and do a quick walk around the perimeter of your home and leave you with a clean bill of window health, or I'll leave you with my findings. That way, if there's any minor issues developing, you'll know before they become bigger problems. And you'll have my information for the future if you ever need anything. I want to be a resource for you in any way I can. I'll be in the area next Tuesday at 10 a.m. or Thursday at 5. Which one works for you? That framing, leaving them with either a clean bill of window health or your findings, that removes every ounce of sales pressure. You're not selling them anything. You are offering them information. That's a completely different conversation. Now, keep in mind, there's gonna be a lot of people who say no to that appointment as well. And if they do, that is okay. Here's what you say. No problem. I'm gonna go ahead and send you over my information. That way you always have it if anything comes up down the road. What's a good email for you? Don't ask. You're gonna tell them that you're sending them information and you're asking for their email, and write it down. Now you have their email. Put them in a follow-up sequence. What started as a no is now a long-term lead, and it's a not yet. Here's the thing about homeowners. They're probably not thinking about their windows right when you call. But because of your call, when they get home that evening after work or whatever they were doing, they're gonna subconsciously be paying attention to their windows. Do the locks work right? Is there any seals busted? And they're not even gonna realize it. And when they do notice these things, you should be top of mind. They should think of you, the sales rep who checked on them, like a neighbor, like a friend, not somebody who pitched them. Make sense? Now the best part of the video. Now I'm gonna leave you with the mindset shift that changes how you feel about every single cold call that doesn't go your way. Most sales reps treat a no like failure. They hang up deflated. They slow down. Their energy drops. And they start to believe cold calling doesn't work. Here's the reframe that I want you to carry with you every single time you dial. You are 100 no's away from a 5-figure month. You are 1,200 no's away from a 6-figure year. Every single no that comes after you've done absolutely everything right, the pattern interrupt, the neighborhood context, the free inspection offer, the email ask, every single one of those no's is one step closer to that yes that changes your entire month. So when you hang up after a call didn't go the way that you wanted, do not get deflated. Get excited, because you are one step closer. The reps who win when it comes to cold calling, they don't necessarily get more yeses. They're just okay with getting the no's, and they don't let that stop them. So let me recap what we covered today. Who to call. Start with calling around a job that either you closed or somebody on your team or in your company closed. Call at least 50 houses around them. You have context, you have social proof, and you have a reason to be there. The pattern interrupt. Break the script in the first 10 seconds. Use their name, Reference the neighborhood and ask them a question that they can feel. We went over the goal of the call. You're not trying to close a deal. You're warming the next conversation. Offer the free inspection, use the false time constraint, and if they still say no, get their email. And we covered the mindset. 100 no's to your 5-figure month, 1,200 no's to your 6-figure year. Every single no is progress. Next week, we're gonna go deeper into the appointment itself. Specifically, the questions that are not being asked during the discovery part of the appointment, and it's costing you jobs. If you've ever had a rep that ran an appointment amazingly, but still came back empty-handed, next week's video is gonna explain exactly why that happened. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. My name is Mike Ballentine. I'm the founder of Alpha Sales Consulting. I help window and door companies specifically. I come in, I train their sales teams on how to go out, get their own leads, create their own opportunities, as opposed to relying solely on inbound leads. If you want to talk about what it would look like for you to bring me in and train your sales team, reach out to me. My information will be in the description. Time will pass anyway. The question is, how different will you be? I'll see you in the next one.